Survive or thrive? That is the question. My video today is my personal opinion on where foods fall in the survival to thrival range. I call them thrival foods. That's my little tag for them. You can call them whatever you want, but I believe that there is a group of foods, the raw foods, that is the most thrival of all the foods. I want to talk about where I place things on this scale. It may differ for you, but this is what I believe, and I want to share it with all of you. So maybe it can help somebody when deciding what to eat. So when I started doing this raw vegan thing about 2 years ago, I would always ask myself, is this food just a survival food? Or is it a thrival food? Am I going to feel better eating it, or am I going to feel worse, or just, maintain status quo or gradually get worse and worse? Obviously, what I was eating in my life was not working for me. I was overweight, I had bad circulation, cellulite, acne, brain fog, candida symptoms, my vision was getting worse every year, my hair was thinning, it was getting really gray. I still have a couple pieces, but I feel that it's helping that as well. My skin tone has improved dramatically. My wrinkles are a lot less than they used to be. My digestion is better, my hormones are better, my circulation is better. Everything seems to be so much better eating this way. So I consider raw foods to be thrival foods. You're going to feel your best, you're going to be the most hydrated, and you're going to look your best when you're eating raw foods. Now, going down the scale, I believe humanity has fallen in this range of foods depending on the environment that they're in. And I will explain this. I believe that we originated in the equator area, in the tropics, in the warmer areas. I mean, we heat our homes to a tropical-ish temperature where we are comfortable being without clothes. So if you can't go outside and feel at least comfortable without your clothes on, then you know that this is not a natural place for a human being to be. A polar bear can be up north because a polar bear has adapted to be up north. We have not adapted to live this high north. We have adapted by warming our houses and wearing clothes, but that's not a body adaptation. We should have hair all over ourselves, thicker skin, and all of that to withstand the cold. So that tells me that we were not meant to live this far north, thus not meant to eat the foods that are needed to survive this high north. So we originated around the equator, eating fruits, vegetables, and a small amount of nuts and seeds, coconut water, lots of minerals, and we got a lot of sun producing vitamin D. We dug in the earth, getting the bacteria that produces vitamin B12. We had no issues back then with nutritional deficiencies or getting the calories that we needed to function and thrive as a human race. Once we started moving more north, however, you get less fruits and vegetables. You are going to start to resort to things like grains and stuff that can be stored over a longer period of time. As it gets colder, that you no longer have fruits and vegetables that are growing because they die during the winter. So we need to have a storage. Potatoes and tubers and gourds and squashes that can be stored for a longer period of time become the survival foods. Now I have a range for the survival foods. I think that squashes and things like sweet potatoes, Japanese yams, that kind of thing, those are probably some of the best things that you can do if you're in the survival range. You want to rely on those first. Then come the grains. So your rice, your wheat, your quinoa and millet and all of that, those are also survival foods. They can be stored for longer periods of time. Your dried nuts and stuff, those I also consider survival foods, even though I do keep a few of them in my diet. We would be eating them fresh if we were in the wild, but I do have a few of those in my diet still, but I consider the dried fruits and nuts to be more survival foods. Then you get into the processed foods, the canned foods, the stuff that lasts forever on the shelf. These are survival foods as well, but they're lower on the scale because they're not as nutritious. They're processed, they have no enzymes, no life to them. However, you can survive eating them, and that's why I call them survival foods. You guys, we can survive on these foods, but are we thriving? You can eat these foods, but are you gonna thrive? That's my whole point to this video, and this is what I told myself when I would choose foods. Is it going to survive or is it going to thrive? Now these canned foods, and I consider frozen vegetables in this department, unless you're freezing them yourself, because a lot of the frozen vegetables in the supermarkets have been heated at high temperatures before they're frozen to get rid of the bacteria. That's the problem with a lot of canned food. They're heated at extremely high temperatures, killing the life force and pulling a little bit of the nutrition out in order to keep them from spoiling on the shelf. And you've got all these crazy expiry dates, and I just don't believe in eating those unless there's like nothing else to eat. The last part, the more north you continue, the even less potatoes and grains you're going to have. And of course, processed foods didn't exist back then. But once you don't have any more of those foods, your very last resort is animal products. We didn't consume a lot of animal products in the past. We think that we did because all the paleo people think we ate so much animal food, but we actually didn't. We ate very little. We ate really, really high fiber. Once you get way high north, your only source of food at all is animal products. So you're kind of basically forced to eat animal products. I personally will never consume animal products as long as I live. We live in a time of abundance. You can get everything. I can get bananas in Alberta. That's unheard of in the past. So we have this access to fresh fruits and vegetables, so there is no reason to default to animal products. Animal products are basically there for if there's absolutely nothing to eat. There isn't even a bag of potato chips left over during the zombie apocalypse that you can eat. We're talking the last resort. That is the ultimate of survival food. And I personally, again, will never go there because I do veganism for ethical reasons. I won't kill an animal for my food. I will scavenge fruits and vegetables, or I will move. If it comes down to it, I will move to get food before I ate animal products. But this is my scale. Again, this is my personal opinion. I believe that animal products are the last resort, and fruits and vegetables, fresh and raw, are your most thrival foods that you can eat. Increasing more fruits and vegetables into your diet will help so many health issues and help you to feel better, more hydrated, better digestion, and all of that good stuff. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to my channel to get notifications for more. You can find me on Facebook at Lissa's Raw Food Romance, on Instagram at Raw Food Romance, and over at Snapchat, Lissa Raw Vegan. So until the next video, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and fruit on.